Long-term debt means that it matures anytime past 1 year. On the balance sheet, it comes under the heading of long-term liabilities. If the debt comes due within 1 year, it is short-term debt and is placed with company's current liabilities. In the search for the excellent business with a long-term competitive advantage, the amount of long-term debt a company carries on its book tells us a lot about the economic nature of the business. Companies that have durable competitive advantage often carry little or no long-term debt on their balance sheet. This is because these companies are so profitable that they're self-financing when they need to expand the business or make acquisitions. So there is never a need to borrow large sums of money. One of the ways to identify the exceptional business is to check how much long-term debt it is carrying on its balance sheet. And we are not just interested in the current year, we want to look at the long-term debt that the company has been carrying for the last 10 or 5 years. If there have been 10 years of operations with little or no long-term debt on the company's balance sheet, it is a good bet that the company has some kind of strong competitive advantage working in its favor. On any given year, the company should have sufficient yearly net earnings to pay off all of its long-term debt within a 3 or 4 year earnings period. Long-term competitive advantage holders like Coca-Cola and Moody's could pay off all their long-term debt in a single year. And for example, Wrigley and the Washington Post can pay it in 2. But companies like General Motors or Ford, both in the highly competitive auto industry, could spend every dime of net profit they earned in the last 10 years and still not pay off the massive amount of long-term debt that they carry on their balance sheet. The bottom line here is that companies that have enough earning power to pay off their long-term debt in under 3 or 4 years are good candidates in our search for the excellent business with a long-term competitive advantage. But please note, because these companies are so profitable and carrying little or no debt, they are often the targets of leveraged buyouts. This is where the buyer borrows huge amounts of money against the cash flow of the company to finance the purchase. After the leveraged buyout, the business is then saddled with large amounts of debt. If all else indicates that the business in question is a company with durable competitive advantage, but it has a ton of debt on its balance sheet, a leveraged buyout may have created the debt. In cases like these, the company's bonds are often the better bet, in that the company's earning power will be focused on paying off the debt and not growing the company. The rule here is simple. Little or no long-term debt often means a good and healthy company. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel for more content like this. Take care and see you next time.